everyone, and welcome to another interesting episode of Film Lab. I'm the Red Black Woman.
And I'm Steven.
Wonderful. Great to have you as usual, Steven.
Pleasure to be here.
How do you do?
Great. Happy days all round.
Indeed, happy days all round.
Yeah.
So today on Film Lab, we'll be doing something that we've never really done. We'll be reviewing a YouTube movie.
YouTube movie. Yeah, let's go. Let's get in. YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is a great place for content creators to put out movies.
It is.
And they might not be at the highest standard at the moment, but they are definitely climbing up in quality.
Real quick.
The level of engagement that we're getting from those movies is probably even higher than some of these other well-made packaged movies that are not really available to watch anywhere, because that's what YouTube really gives you, availability. Anyone can just pick up their phone and watch your movie.
And it goes beyond West Africa.
The entire world, exactly. Yes. So you don't have all that sectioning and regioning that you get with some of the major streamers or like something like DVD, for instance.
And what's lovely about YouTube movies is that it's a lot of Nigerian actors and actresses like Obmoni Oboli, whose movie we're doing today, Love in Every Word.
Yeah.
A lot of them have ventured into executive production where they have their own movies now, they have their own YouTube channels. So today on Film Lab, we're going to be looking into Love in Every Word, a beautiful romance story. Has a bit of comedy here and there. That shows how...
A lot of comedy, actually.
A lot of comedy, yes. Shows how two people from different backgrounds, posh, traditional, find love and try to coexist with their backgrounds, basically.
Yeah.
That's the best way. So just so you know, spoiler, there might be spoilers, but it's still beautiful if you stay tuned so that you can also cultivate your opinion. Go and watch the movie and the conversation would even be better.
Exactly.
All right? So we're going to talk about different parts of the movie. But before we do that, a quick popcorn break. Do not go anywhere. Get that cold drink. Put some ice in it. All right? This is Film Lab. We'll be right back.
You didn't give me your number, so I came with my friends to collect your number. Shoma.
This is a nuisance. Security! Come on, get these clowns out of here.
Hey,
so sorry.
Good afternoon,
Mr. Obiora.
Yes, Jide, how are you?
Get this out of here. You know him?
Yes, I know him very well. Mr. Obiora here bought this place this morning and even paid cash. And technically now he's your new landlord. And that means he's my new boss.
Put your number here so I can take my friends away and stop being a nuisance. Don't worry.
Welcome back. This is still Film Lab, where we're reviewing Love in Every Word, a beautiful romantic comedy drama YouTube film that was written by Mfom Bassi Michael Nyang, with two major characters in this movie: Uzor Arukwe, starring as Odogu Obiora. Yes, there's power.
Indeed, exactly.
And Bam Bam, starring as
Chioma,
sort of like the stereotypical average Igbo young lady, right? Now, there's certain gems about this movie that we would like to go into, but let's talk about the writing. Let's talk about the writing of Love in Every Word. What are the things that stood out for you?
I think first of all, it was an engaging film. So I mean, you're seeing the engagement online, you're
Yes,
seeing the virality of the
yes.
film, and I think that comes down to good quality writing. You can tell
Yes.
with YouTube movies, their budget constraints.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that they're working with. So I'm not going to be critical of the movie in
Mhm.
any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
I think I want to celebrate the success
The wins.
behind this movie.
Mhm.
One, and then secondly, I want to commend the team of
Yeah,
writers,
team.
whoever contributed to the writing of this project. I feel like they put in effort into telling a complete story, right?
Yes.
The characters are relatable. You can relate to what they're going through. They don't seem like cutouts of like Nigerian stereotypes. They feel like real people, real Nigerians living in Nigeria, going through what this country has to offer. And outside of even the Nigerian view, like they also still pull you into their own story as well. So the reason I brought that up is because the movie is not just about their story.
Yes.
The movie tells their story, but also tells you about these people. You
Yes.
leave this movie knowing about these people, about their
Yes.
culture, their tribes,
Yes.
some things relating to trauma. You're educated
Yes.
about the characters in depth. So I think that's kudos to the writing of the film, and I think that's why the characters are relatable.
Yes.
That's why they're translating well online, and that's why
Yes.
people are really engaged in this movie and are watching the film.
Yes, very wise words, and I like the fact that you gave praises to Nigerian YouTube movies because they are putting in a lot of effort, and you did mention, the budget constraints. So today is about celebrating the wins. Speaking on relatability, I felt that the writers did research, because it is easy to overdo the relatable character, which is Odogu Obiora's character. I've watched quite a number of YouTube movies where they've tried to portray that character, but then it's not digestible because they tend to overdo it. But there was a nice balance, and one thing I did appreciate about the writing, the scripting, is how they were able to cover loopholes and how they were able to continue narratives. The fact that they created a narrative between the two main characters, Chioma and Odogo Obiora, and they made them have lives outside the main narrative. And in making them have lives outside the main narrative, you can see that in certain details of, for example, Chioma's life relating to her ex, her friend mentioned something, in the beginning, and you can see that the writers didn't pretend like we have amnesia. They followed through, and the result of the conversation had pertaining her ex, the results were seen towards, in the middle, towards the end of the movie. And I loved the fact that the writer was able to weave in very obvious natural conflicts, because everybody has an ick, and the writer was able to highlight the most obvious ick that Chioma had in relation to Odogu Obiora. And it would make no sense when you get to know the ick, what was a deal breaker for her in some form of commitment, right? To other people, it's like, this is so shallow, but this is so real at the same time. Like, how can anyone want to make a decision where embarking on a relationship is concerned based on some issue that most people might deem trivial? It is good writing where even if they're different, there's the major conflict, but there are different, bits and bobs of conflict here and there for the audience to discuss. That is one of the reasons why this movie actually came viral. Okay, let's go on a quick short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about things from the director's point of view, or the directing of the movie. All right, this is still Film Lab. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Film Lab, where we're still reviewing Love in Every Word. So now that we're back from the short break, let's talk about the directing. What do you think about the directing?
I feel like Stanley Obi did a great job. My main praise for this film would be coverage.
Okay.
The story, so sometimes you get a script and you feel like the director just wanted to shoot around the script.
Yeah.
So just get out the dialogue, bang, especially on YouTube movies. You just feel like they just like to bang out the dialogue, hit their runtime, and get gone.
Yeah.
Right? So if it means stretching out some scenes or shooting out some cover and cutting out some coverage, then yes, so be it. But here we do not have any of that. There's no shortcuts. We have more than enough scenes packed in. There were I was shocked at the amount of scenes we had in here. Costume changes, and everything was followed up. Scenes and okay, this happens to you, you go and talk to your girlfriends. We're not skipping out and talking to your girlfriends. You moan in your room for a bit. You come back, you get on the phone. Things moved at the right pace. If you think about what life is, there was enough coverage for our two main characters. I would say on Chief Obiора's side though, there was less coverage. But that could also tell you that maybe he's the supporting character. Bam Bam seemed to be the central character for this film. So
because
she got sufficient coverage. We left this film knowing everything about her life, from family to
work,
past traumas, everything. Work, we got comprehensive. We knew her job. We knew her bonuses. We knew everything.
Her salary.
They were thorough and comprehensive.
Gigs.
We knew her vision. And when you say a story is supposed to be transformative, a character starts somewhere and in the course of the movie, she ended up in a different place at the end of this movie.
Yes,
for
she did.
sure.
True.
And we watched this transformation happen. And in the process, nothing was skipped out on.
Yes.
They took their time to tell whatever the writer intended, the director communicated.
And the director also communicated whatever the writer intended by helping these characters consistently stay in character.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Chief Odogwu Obiora's character, I like the fact that, even if we didn't have a lot of expose
for him, there was less expose for him.
There was less expose. Like you said, probably the supporting lead.
Yeah.
Yes. But his character is very big, very present.
Yeah.
So what we didn't make up in expose, we made up in his character presence, right?
Yeah. So every scene he's in, he was dominant. He was
dominant,
obvious.
And the director did a great job trying to keep him in line, because like I said, that character, you can get carried away and overdo it. Yeah. Now the character of Chioma, he stayed true to the character Bible, where you have the different characters, the description of the character. She does strike me as someone that's into media buying and selling, that does plans campaign strategies. I mean, look at the scene where she went back to Anambra State for a family event, right? She still had to cut out time during the family event to do work.
Yeah, and they showed all of that.
And
that was, and so just sorry to cut you off, but her mom comes in and delivers information that somebody wants to see her.
Yes.
So even though, she wasn't just sitting around, that information came because that information is important for the story, right? The information that we need to hear in this scene is her mom is coming to tell her about. That's what relates to the story.
Yeah.
But they still were in touch with the character enough to have her doing some kind of work.
Yes.
Because that's what this type of person might be doing at this.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with you.
Yes. So I appreciated that regarding directing.
Super fantastic. Great. I think that was we have to praise Stanley Obi. Well done.
Well done. I have watched one of his productions though, The Old Bridesmaid with Munachi Abi, Uche Montana, and quite some notable other faces. Okay, so let's talk about the shortcomings, what we feel could have been improved better. But we'll go on a popcorn break real quick, okay? Don't go anywhere. This is still Film Lab, where we're reviewing Love in Every Word.
Love in Every Word.
Welcome back. This is still Film Lab, where we're reviewing Love in Every Word. Great. So we've spoken quite a bit about Love in Every Word.
Yep.
Now let's go straight into what we feel could have probably been done better.
The end.
Tell us more about it.
I feel like the movie ended right at the climax in Act 3. So just at the end of the climax in Act 3, we get what is some sort of a mini resolution in the middle of the climax, right? Or at the end of the climax. So we're still in the climax, right? This is the location of the climax of the movie. And you have some small short conversation and resolve. For me, that's insufficient. Like, there needed to be at least been one more scene. Even if you don't have one more scene, at least a montage. Something needs to come after the scene. We can't cut to credits.
Or
right after,
just like
some text. Something, man. Give us something. I mean, it was an hour 53. We could have probably stretched 2 hours. Maybe they were scared of runtime. They didn't want it to say 2 hours or something. As you said, you could have done some text. You could have done something. Show us the end of what we wanted to see. I don't want to spoil it, but you know what we wanted to see at the end. Show it to us. Shoot the scene. Put it on display. That for me is the only shortcoming of this movie. The ending left a bit to be desired.
For me, I feel like the shortcoming of the movie is the production value. But like you said, it's a YouTube movie.
Yeah, YouTube movie.
You have constraint of
budgets.
How
much you can even return on investment.
Exactly.
As well.
And evidently, having big names on a YouTube movie, you can sort of see where
all the budget went to.
But like we said, we're not here to bring it down or criticize. But I will be honest, that's my only shortcoming. I don't want to go into it. I just want to, glaze over it. So, how would we? Stephen was wondering, like, okay, how would you watch this movie? How would you watch this movie? Well, I'll say I know how I would recommend for you guys to watch this movie. I'd say it's a very girls' night, Friday with your girlies after like work with your favorite drink or your favorite popcorn or your snack, sleepover. It's a very, like the Filipinos would say, it's very kilig. It's a kilig moment, meaning butterflies. You would blush at certain parts. You would giggle. I can agree. It's something to like squeeze your girlfriend's arms and be like, ah. That's the feeling it evokes.
I can agree with you. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're into a sappy, outside of a girlfriend's night is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're anybody into like sappy rom-coms, hey.
Or if you want to enjoy your meal.
Yeah, hyper fantasy version of Eastern Love. Let's go. If that's what you're into.
What would
if you want to Odogu buy jewelry all day, sure. Knock it out.
So what
you can bang it on your phone, laptop, TV, wherever, man. Like it's on YouTube, so
it's on YouTube.
Get watching.
Happy so days. What would you rate this movie? Any ratings from you?
I think within like for a YouTube movie, definitely like a 9 over 10.
Whoa!
For like what a YouTube movie is, this is a successful YouTube movie. I can't think of any YouTube movie.
The key word is successful.
Yeah, it's a successful YouTube.
The key word is successful. It's a successful YouTube movie.
Low cast, low budget,
quality cast.
Yeah.
Minimal cast at the same time. Minimal location. Simple writing, simple exchange. No chewing of
sensible instances. Nothing.
Chewing of scenes.
There's some chewing going on, but I mean the instances are relatable. It's not like a lot of instances that you look at and be like, yeah, this is unreal, or like things that when they shoot it, okay, this is gonna blow out the budget.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they have a good ROI and they enjoy themselves.
So, but I would rate it an 8 as for YouTube movie. There was something I did appreciate about it though that I forgot to mention. I love the Eastern love PR around it. It is nice to know that a filmmaker can capitalize on a positive stereotype, whether or not it's a stereotype. It's a positive.
We have some good stereotypes. Why not play with them exactly?
Yes, because a lot of movies on YouTube, when you see the Eastern community or the Eastern men portrayed, thank you, chiefs that do rituals, but this one they're showing that an Igbo man can be comfortable in his masculinity, at the same time be affectionate
and romantic,
and
they're intentional. They know
and yes, very intentional.
And then when they have the money, they can really act out the intention.
Yes, and you can see that that's narrative of an Igbo man's pride and glory is his wife and children. You can see it in Odogu Obiora. So I appreciated that. So I think a solid 8. A solid 8.
Happy days.
Yeah, a solid 8. I love it.
Fantastic.
Great. It's been a wonderful time. Very easy, straightforward, digestible. I'm sure that you guys have had a great time. Do you have any last?
No, I'm good.
What's
Happy
good?
days.
Okay, great. So don't forget, guys, that our social media handles is displaying on your screen right now to all social media platforms. All right. Do not forget to like, follow, subscribe, and definitely turn on that notification button so you know when we upload new episodes of Film Lab. Great. Also, be part of this beautiful conversation. Our phone numbers are showing on the screen right now. And you guys asked us to review Love in Every Word. We delivered. So we actually listen and we deliver. Tell us more movies that you would love for us to review and let us know your feedback. Soon, we're going to be sharing your feedbacks on these movies. The movies that you ask us to review. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed every moment of the popcorn break, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, film is life. Enjoy it, breathe it, live it. All right? This is Film Lab. Have a wonderful one, and cut.